There was a man who survived the war. He walked the streets of Borough Park aimlessly. Every day there's a man who had lots of time when he was in Borough Park to make him feel better. So who was this man who had all the time in the world? His name was Rabbi Cutler, undisputably the busiest person on the planet. And he didn't live in Lakewood. That's where the yeshiva was. He went there for Shabbos. Weekdays he lived in Borough Park in his apartment, and every day he schmoozed with the guy to give him chizuk, to light up his night, because no one wants to feel alone. And one day Reb Aaron turns to the man and he tells him, God willing, you'll remarry, you'll have a daughter, and I'll dance at that chasana of hers. The man said it was the furthest thing from his mind. He went ahead and he remarried. And he had a daughter, and she became the apple of his eye. When she was 10, Reb Aaron died. The man was devastated. It seared his heart. What about the wedding? 10 years later, when the girl was at her own chasana, in the middle of the first dance, Reb Aaron's only son, Reb Schneur Cutler, walks in. He finds the girl's father, and he dances and dances and dances Lebedik. When the dance ends, the father says, Rosh Hashiva, I didn't want to bother you. What brought you, Reb Schneur, here? And he said, before my father died about 10 years ago, he called me into his room, and he told me, listen, there's a Yid in Borough Park. I said that I would dance at his daughter's chasana, but that's not to be. Take down his name and address and follow her life. And when you hear she's a kala, go to the wedding and dance in my place. Do you need me to explain that story? It's well known before Reb Aaron passed away, he had a meeting with Reb Schneur for hours about the perpetuity of Klal Yisrael. But first on that list was, there's a man in Borough Park with a little girl, take his name, and when she's a kala, dance at the wedding in my place.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.